Imagine standing in a silent stone chapel, candles flickering, as distant thunder begins to shake the earth. Except it's not thunder, it's an army. And inside that chapel, dozens of young nuns, women who had never held a weapon, whisper prayers they can barely remember, because they know that within hours, everything they have ever loved will be taken or destroyed. Some survived. Most did not. And the world was never told the full truth. Today, you're going to hear what really happened to nuns during the Ottoman conquests. Stories preserved in fragments, buried in archives, and whispered across centuries. During the 14th to 16th centuries, as the Ottoman Empire expanded through the Balkans and Eastern Europe, thousands of monasteries, especially those near strategic passes, found themselves directly in harm's way. These nuns were not warriors. They had no armies, no allies, no walls thick enough to stop cannon fire. The problem was simple and terrifying. What do you do when your entire life, your faith, your safety, your identity, is about to be swallowed by one of the most powerful empires in the world? Our story begins with Sister Helena, a 19-year-old novice from a small monastery near Skopje. Her final letter was found in the rubble of the monastery, preserved by pure chance. She writes, "Tonight the ground trembles. Mother Superior says God is testing us. But my hands shake too much to hold the rosary." This wasn't fear of death. It was fear of the unknown, because the stories they'd heard were horrifying. Some monasteries were spared. Others were burned. Some nuns were relocated. Others vanished from history entirely. And Helena knew that by sunrise, she would become one of those stories. So what did happen to monasteries when Ottoman forces arrived? The records show three common outcomes. 1. Protection. Some monasteries negotiated their survival. Ottoman commanders sometimes granted protection if monks or nuns agreed to pay tax or surrender valuable manuscripts. 2. Forced relocation. Others were emptied. Nuns were moved deeper into Christian-controlled territories, often on foot, often in winter.
3. Destruction.
And yes, some were simply in the wrong place at the wrong time. Burned, abandoned, forgotten. But the most heartbreaking accounts come from the survivors. Women who described the fear, confusion, and desperate acts they resorted to when all hope seemed lost. But not all stories end in tragedy. One account tells of the monastery of St. Naum on Lake Ohrid. Surrounded, outnumbered, and ready for the worst, the nuns gathered in the courtyard. They expected fire. They expected death. Instead, something unexpected happened. The Ottoman commander, a man named Iskender Bey, stepped forward, looked at the trembling women, and said, "No blood will be spilled here." Why? Some historians say the monastery held relics valuable to the Ottomans. Others say the commander had a Christian mother. But the nuns believed it was a miracle. For years afterward, they prayed for the soul of the man who spared them. But not every story has an ending we can trace. In the mountains of Vevkani, a monastery of 14 nuns vanished from the records after 1466.
No ruins. No graves.
No documents. Only a single line appears in a traveler's journal decades later. The sisters of Vevkani fled into the mountains and were never seen again. Some say they died crossing the passes. Some believe they were sheltered by remote shepherd communities. Others think they joined other convents under new names. Those women, whoever they were, their courage is part of this history too. So, what really happened to nuns during the Ottoman conquests? Not one story, not one truth, but hundreds, each shaped by fear, negotiation, fate, geography, and the choices of commanders who held life and death in their hands. Some nuns became refugees. Some became martyrs. Some became unexpected witnesses to mercy. And some simply disappeared. History often forgets the quiet ones. But today, for a few minutes, we gave them their voices back. If you want more powerful, human stories like this, make sure you subscribe, because history isn't just dates and battles. It's people. People who lived, felt, feared, and hoped, just like us.